When it comes to choosing an operating system today, most people immediately think of Windows or Mac OS. But over the last few years, two other platforms have gained massive attention for very different reasons. One is Linux, the open-source operating system that powers everything from supercomputers to servers and millions of personal computers. The other is ChromeOS, Google's lightweight operating system designed around speed, simplicity, and the web. At first glance, they may seem like completely different worlds, but they actually compete in an interesting way. Both promise fast performance, improved security, and a better alternative to traditional operating systems. So the big question is simple: which one is actually better? The answer depends on what kind of user you are, what hardware you own, and what you expect from your computer. By the end of this video, you'll understand the strengths and weaknesses of both Linux and ChromeOS, and know exactly which one deserves a place on your laptop. Let's begin with Linux. Linux is not just one operating system. It's actually a kernel that serves as the foundation for hundreds of different distributions, commonly known as distros. Popular choices include Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Fedora, Debian, Arch Linux, OpenSUSE, Pop_OS, and many others. Each distribution offers a different experience, but they all share the same core philosophy: freedom, customization, and open-source software. Unlike proprietary operating systems, Linux gives users complete control over how their computer works. You can customize nearly every aspect of the system, install different desktop environments, choose your preferred software, and even modify the operating system itself if you have the technical knowledge. Now let's look at ChromeOS. Developed by Google, ChromeOS was originally designed to run web applications through the Chrome browser. Early Chromebooks relied heavily on internet connectivity, but modern ChromeOS has evolved significantly. Today, it supports Android apps through the Google Play Store, Linux applications through a built-in Linux environment, and many offline features. ChromeOS focuses on simplicity. Instead of overwhelming users with countless settings, it provides an interface that feels familiar to anyone who has used the Chrome browser. Everything is designed to be easy, quick, and beginner-friendly. Performance is one of the biggest reasons people compare these two operating systems. Linux has a reputation for breathing new life into old computers. Lightweight distributions like Linux Lite, Ubuntu, NTX, Puppy Linux, and MX Linux can run smoothly on hardware that struggles with modern versions of Windows. Because Linux distributions are generally less demanding on system resources, older laptops often become surprisingly responsive after switching to Linux. Boot times are fast, applications launch quickly, and background resource usage remains low. ChromeOS is also known for excellent performance, but for different reasons. Since the operating system is tightly optimized for Chromebook hardware, everything feels smooth and responsive. Even budget Chromebooks with modest processors and limited RAM often provide a pleasant experience for browsing, streaming, online learning, and document editing. ChromeOS avoids unnecessary background services and keeps resource usage minimal. However, ChromeOS performs best on certified Chromebook devices. While projects like ChromeOS Flex allow installation on older PCs, the experience may vary depending on hardware compatibility. Security is another area where both operating systems shine. Linux has long been respected for its strong security model. Because Linux separates administrative privileges from regular user activities, malware has a harder time causing serious damage. The open-source community constantly reviews the code, identifies vulnerabilities, and releases security updates. While Linux is not immune to attacks, it remains one of the safest desktop operating systems available when properly maintained. ChromeOS approaches security differently. Google built security directly into its architecture. Features such as verified boot, sandboxing, automatic updates, and encryption work together to protect users with minimal effort. Every time the system starts, ChromeOS verifies that the operating system has not been tampered with. Applications run in isolated environments, reducing the risk of malware spreading across the system. Automatic updates happen quietly in the background, ensuring users always have the latest security patches without manual intervention. For people who don't want to think about security, ChromeOS offers one of the simplest and safest experiences available. Software availability is where the comparison becomes more interesting. Linux offers thousands of free applications through software repositories. Office suites like LibreOffice, image editors like GIMP, video editors like GenLive, Programming tools like Visual Studio Code and countless development utilities are readily available. Developers especially appreciate Linux because most programming languages, servers, virtualization tools, Docker, Git, and cloud utilities work exceptionally well. Many professionals actually develop software directly on Linux because of its flexibility and stability. ChromeOS has expanded far beyond web apps. Users can install Android applications, giving access to millions of mobile apps. Linux applications can also run inside ChromeOS using the Linux development environment. This means users can install programming tools, coding editors, and many Linux applications without leaving ChromeOS. However, not every Linux application works perfectly, and performance may vary depending on the Chromebook's hardware. For general productivity, entertainment, and education, ChromeOS provides plenty of software choices. But for advanced professional workloads, Linux still offers greater compatibility and flexibility. Customization is another major difference. Linux is arguably the most customizable desktop operating system available. Users can change desktop environments, themes, icons, window managers, system behavior, startup services, keyboard shortcuts, and nearly everything else. Whether you prefer a Windows-like interface, a macOS-inspired desktop, or something completely unique, Linux can accommodate your preferences. This flexibility is one of the biggest reasons enthusiasts fall in love with Linux. ChromeOS intentionally limits customization. Google prioritizes consistency and simplicity over endless configuration options. Users can change wallpapers, themes, and a few appearance settings, but the overall interface remains largely the same. This limitation is actually beneficial for many people because it reduces confusion and ensures a consistent user experience. If you simply want your computer to work every day without tweaking settings, ChromeOS succeeds remarkably well. Hardware compatibility tells another important part of the story. Linux supports an enormous variety of hardware, from decades-old computers to the latest desktop workstations. Most major manufacturers have improved Linux compatibility over the years, although occasional driver issues still exist, especially with certain Wi-Fi adapters, graphics cards, or printers. Fortunately, compatibility has improved dramatically compared to the past. ChromeOS mainly targets Chromebook devices specifically designed for the operating system. These devices usually offer excellent battery life, efficient performance, and seamless integration with Google's services. ChromeOS Flex allows installation on many older PCs and Macs, extending the life of aging hardware, but some features like Android app support may not be available on Flex installations. Battery life often favors ChromeOS. Because Google carefully optimizes both hardware and software, Chromebooks frequently deliver impressive battery performance, sometimes lasting an entire workday or even longer on a single charge. Linux battery life depends heavily on the chosen distribution, hardware, kernel version, and power management configuration. While modern Linux distributions have improved significantly, battery life may require additional tuning on some laptops. Gaming presents another clear distinction. Linux gaming has improved dramatically thanks to Steam, Proton, and compatibility technologies that allow thousands of Windows games to run surprisingly well. Native Linux games continue to grow, and many gamers now enjoy excellent performance without Windows. However, certain multiplayer games using restrictive anti-cheat systems may still have compatibility issues. ChromeOS gaming is more limited. Casual Android games work well, cloud gaming services perform nicely with a stable internet connection, and some Linux games can run through the Linux environment. Nevertheless, ChromeOS is not designed as a primary gaming platform. Serious gamers generally prefer Linux or Windows for broader compatibility and better performance. For students, both operating systems offer compelling advantages. ChromeOS has become extremely popular in schools because it's easy to manage, boots quickly, updates automatically, and integrates seamlessly with Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Drive, and other educational tools. Teachers appreciate its simplicity, while students enjoy fast startup times and reliable performance. Linux also serves students well, especially those studying computer science, engineering, cybersecurity, networking, or programming. Most educational programming environments work naturally on Linux, and students gain valuable experience using command line tools and development workflows commonly found in professional environments. Privacy is another important consideration. Linux distributions generally collect very little user data, and because the source code is publicly available, privacy-conscious users can verify exactly how the operating system behaves. Many Linux distributions prioritize user control and transparency. ChromeOS integrates deeply with Google's ecosystem. If you already rely on Gmail, Google Photos, Google Drive, Google Calendar, and Google Docs, ChromeOS creates a seamless experience. However, this integration means your computing experience is closely connected to your Google account, which may concern users who prioritize maximum privacy. Ease of use often determines which operating system new users choose. ChromeOS is incredibly beginner-friendly. Most people can open a Chromebook, sign into their Google account, and start working within minutes. There's almost no learning curve for basic tasks like browsing, watching videos, sending emails, or creating documents. Linux has become much easier over the years, especially beginner-focused distributions like Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and Zorin OS. Users occasionally encounter situations requiring command-line instructions, troubleshooting, or software configuration. While these challenges have become less frequent, Linux still expects users to be somewhat more willing to learn than ChromeOS does. Cost is another factor worth mentioning. Most Linux distributions are completely free. Users can download, install, modify, and distribute them without paying licensing fees. This makes Linux especially attractive for older computers, schools, businesses, and users looking to avoid software costs. ChromeOS devices vary widely in price. Affordable Chromebooks are available for basic computing, while premium Chromebook Plus models offer powerful processors, high-resolution displays, and premium build quality. ChromeOS itself is not something users typically purchase separately, since it comes pre-installed on compatible devices. Long-term support also differs. Linux distributions often provide years of security updates, with long-term support versions receiving maintenance for extended periods. Users can choose stable releases for reliability or rolling release distributions for continuous updates. ChromeOS automatically receives updates directly from Google until the device reaches its auto-update expiration date. Once support ends, the Chromebook continues functioning, but no longer receives official updates. Buyers should consider the remaining support period when purchasing older Chromebook models. So, which operating system is actually better? If your priorities are simplicity, security, fast startup, excellent battery life, easy maintenance, and seamless Google integration, ChromeOS is an outstanding choice. It's perfect for students, casual users, families, and anyone whose daily work revolves around web browsing, streaming, email, online meetings, and cloud-based productivity. On the other hand, if you value freedom, customization, software flexibility, programming, professional development tools, privacy, hardware compatibility, and complete control over your computer, Linux stands in a class of its own. It rewards users willing to invest a little time learning its capabilities with an incredibly powerful and versatile computing experience. Ultimately, there is no universal winner because these operating systems were built with different goals in mind. ChromeOS removes complexity to deliver a polished, maintenance-free experience for everyday users. Linux embraces flexibility, allowing users to shape the operating system into almost anything they can imagine. Both are fast, secure, and capable, but they succeed for different reasons. Before making your decision, consider how you actually use your computer rather than chasing specifications or popularity. The best operating system isn't the one with the longest feature list. It's the one that fits your workflow, supports your daily tasks, and helps you accomplish more with less frustration. Whether you choose Linux or ChromeOS, you're selecting an alternative to traditional operating systems that has matured into a reliable, modern platform capable of serving millions of users around the world.